From the moment that this track starts, you can tell Asake is doing something different. The trumpets, the deep bass, the moody atmosphere. This isn't your typical love song. The production choices are bold, unconventional and raw, yet somehow it makes perfect sense. And when you pair that with Asake's vocal delivery and lyricism, it creates something that feels both unfiltered and deeply intentional. As usual, there's lots to break down, so let's get into it. This intro is 24 bars long, and while that's longer than most, every section serves a purpose. The first 8 bars is all about setting the foundation. It's just pure rhythm, locked in and steady. Now, if you're a DJ, this is great for mixing, but as a casual listener, you might feel it's a bit of a slow build. But once bar 9 hits, things shift dramatically. First, we have the trumpets that enter the mix, and these steal the show, but not in the way that you might think. Instead of being bright or celebratory, they feel raw, slow, and deeply melancholic. Almost like an underground jazz saxophone in a smoky club. It's unconventional, but it instantly grabs your attention. Then the bass comes in, and this isn't just any old bass. It's deep, it's moody, and it carries weight, making the whole track feel heavier and more immersive. It doesn't overpower the track, but you feel its presence instantly. By the final 8 bars, the vocals enter. And instead of getting some uplifting harmonies, we get these haunting layered vocals instead. Like something out of a hidden experimental genre that only a handful of people in the world have ever heard of. It's unexpected, but they definitely work. And in the background, the synth keys quietly glue it all together. They're not driving the track, nor are they adding melody. They're just there pulsing, droning, and filling up the space. And they only work because the rhythm and the bass anchors everything. Without that, they'd be lost. All of this makes for an intro that's layered, atmospheric, and completely unexpected for a love song. But it's also what makes it so engaging. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we are going to listen to the intro now. So there's a couple of things or key things that you're listening out for here. Trumpets, just listen to them and how they are center stage within the mix, but also pay attention to the mood of them. Listen out for the bass, again, how moody it is, but also how present it is within the track. Second thing are the vocals. Instead of getting these uplifting harmonies, what do we get? We get these haunting layered vocals instead. And then the final thing are the synths. Just kind of gluing it all together, but not really doing a lot in terms of driving the track forward or adding melody. They're there just kind of droning away and filling up all the space. All right, let's do it. All right, so first 8 bars, dedicated purely to the rhythm. Right, saxes and bass, they drop now. And they bang. Pay attention to the mood of both elements. Completely opposite to what you'd expect in a love song. Right, vocals. Bang. Not bright, not uplifting. Angeli, come and lay me. Consider lucky. My baby, let's keep on jamming. This fire cannot cool down. Baby, damn it, it's not me. The first thing that stands out to me about the chorus is how well executed it is. Instrumentally, the shift from the pre-chorus is massive. The pre-chorus is full, layered and rich, but once we hit the chorus, everything gets stripped back, and all we're left with is the drums, the bass and the synth keys. And this makes perfect sense, because the chorus is heavily driven by the vocals. as it should be, because this is where Asake opens up about what he admires in a woman. Lyrically, it's simple, spacious, and intentional, with plenty of space between phrases to let each line stand out, and pay particular attention to the call and response vocals, because they're not just there for effect, they actually add meaning. Instead of just echoing Asake's words, they clarify what he really means. For example, Asake sings My Type. The response answers with Sabi Girl. It's almost like a direct translation. It's subtle, but it makes the lyrics feel more conversational and layered. Then there's the moment that ties it all together. Why love? This isn't just a passing phrase. It's emphasized and repeated 3 times. Almost like Asake isn't just asking himself the question, but grappling with the complexities of love itself. All of this makes for a chorus that's clean, intentional, and vocally driven, allowing every element to land exactly as it should. Okay, so we are going to go ahead. We're going to listen to the chorus now, similar to what we did with the intro, and you're listening out for a couple of things. Firstly is how the chorus gets stripped back. Second, by doing so, how the chorus becomes heavily vocally driven. But pay particular attention to the call and responses. Notice how they're not just echoing Asake's words. They're saying what he really means. And then the final one is why love. Notice how Asake doesn't just seem to be asking this question, but grappling with the complexities of love. Now, I will start us off from the pre-chorus, and that means that you'll get a bit of a run up and you'll notice the chorus being stripped back even more. All right, let's do it.
My baby, let's keep on jamming.
Right, pre-chorus coming in a bit.
Cool down, baby, damn it, it's not me.
Right, here we go, pre-chorus. Boom.
My baby.
Layered, full, harmonies. Those ones bang. Right, chorus coming in. Boom, strip back. Call and responses. Again. Why love coming up. Boom. Trumpets. While there are many standout moments in this track, the one standout moment for me has to be the second verse, because this is where we see a shift in Asake's perspective. Up until now, he's carried this tough and confident persona, but in this section, he softens, leaning into admiration. And for the first time in the entire song, the production finally reflects that shift. Up until now, the production has been bold, moody, and unconventional for a love song. But here, in the first half of the second verse, things finally begin to feel lighter and more fluid, almost in the way that you'd expect a love song to be. The percussions are stripped away, allowing this section to breathe. The synth keys, they only hit once, naturally removing the harshness they brought earlier, but more noticeably, they introduce an electric guitar. All of these changes don't just soften the production, they allow the lyrics to shine through. It's a deliberate choice, creating a more intimate and reflective atmosphere. It's a brilliant example of how production isn't there just to sound good, but is actively shaping the story. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and we are going to listen to this section now. It's the second verse and it is the last section that we will be listening to. What you're listening for is a couple of things. Firstly is how we've gone from this bold, moody, unconventional tone to suddenly the production softening. The second thing is how actually this doesn't last very long and we shift back to the composition that we had in the first verse. But pay attention to how this correlates to the shift in Asake's admiration, where we go from hearing him talk about her as somebody special to then boom, going back to concentrating on her features. As usual, I'll give you a run up and cue you in when the second verse is about to drop. Right, second verse coming in.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
There we
My
go.
baby,
Production
my
softens.
special one, my bestie. You know I'm a soldier boy.
Listen to how he's talking about her.
Admire your confidence, they bust my head.
Now the switch is going to come in. Boom.
One for the road, keep it steady. Two for my girl, big energy. But the magnetizing, fascinating.
Shift in admiration.
Illuminating, captivating. Who can charge me? Such a bad bitch, but the bad me. Keep it moving, or a body.
So, why love? Asake doesn't just ask this question, he makes you feel it. The weight of the production, the shifts in tone, the unexpected instrumentation, everything is designed to challenge what a love song should sound like. It's the perfect balance of contrast and cohesion, and that's what makes this track stand out. Okay, that's it from me. If you want to see more breakdown and analyses videos, everything's popping up on the screen right now. But before I go, what did you think? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I will see you in the next one.